Alaikum. This is International Islamic University Islamabad School Sahibal Campus online lectures. This lecture is for grade 6 for the subject of English, unit number 5, poem Eximo's Awakening, and lecture number is 7. Today's lecture tasks are question answers, vocabulary, and sentence structure. In this lecture, we will cover the question answers, vocabulary portion, which is present on page number 34, and also sentence structure, which is a part of language portion, which is present on page number 35. Students, open your English classwork notebook. First of all, you have to write down the index. Open the index page, write down serial number, date, and topic, which is poem. Before we begin with the lecture, students, ensure that you have your English student book, notebook, and your complete stationery with you. Listen to the teacher attentively. Note down the points you don't understand and contact us on WhatsApp through voice note for any query. Before you start your work, students, you have to ensure that you have your complete stationery with you. You have to draw margin line on English classwork notebook. Then you have to write down the date and day properly, the topic properly, and also underline the topic. Now let's start. Open the language tree book page number 33, from where you can read the questions. The first question is, why does Eximo dash towards the path? In this question, it is asked by the reason why Eximo dash towards the path. The answer of this question is because he wants to get to the sea before his mother sees him. Because Eximos want to get to the sea before his mother sees him. The second question is, what does he see from the top of the hill? What does Eximo see? Yes, he sees a sheep from the top of the hill. The third question is multiple type question. You have to do this on your book. The question is, the word as usual are repeated in verses 1 and 2. What does this tell us? The word usual. You read the poem and you also know that the word usual is repeated in the verses 1 and 2. You have to tell the reason why the word usual is repeated. 4 options are given. You have to choose the right one. Option A is Eximo is feeling sad. The B is he is bored with his life. The option C is Eximo's life has always been the same. And the last one option is he does not know what to do next. Yes, the right answer of this question is Eximo's life has always been the same. Option C. Mark the correct answer on option C. The fourth question is, I froze. What does this phrase tell us? You read in the sentenza, as I buzzed through the bush at the top of the hill, I froze and I shivered. My heart stood still. In this sentenza, the word froze is used. You have to tell the reason why this phrase. What does this phrase mean by the word froze? This phrase tells us that Eximo stood still. Repeat it with me. The answer of this question is, this phrase tells us that Eximo stood still. That's why the poet uses the term froze for Eximo stood still. Now comes to the question number 5, which is, did Eximo shiver because he was? This question is also multiple type question. You have to do this on your book. The 4 options are given, which are cold, scared, unhappy, hot. The right answer of this question is option number B, which is scared. Shiver means tremble. The sixth question is, the ships are described as great canoes with houses. Is this a metaphor or simile? What the question is? The ships are described as great canoes with houses. Is this a metaphor or simile? Yes, this is a metaphor because here is a complete comparison, not compared by using like or as. The seventh question is, what were the clouds of cloth wings hung on poles? What does it mean? It means sails. Question number 8 is, what is the mood of the last 3 sentences? The answer of this question is, the mood of last 3 sentences is fearful. The Eximos was fearful. That's why the last 3 sentences shows that the mood of fearfulness. Now comes to the question number 9. What do you think happened after the events of the poem? You have to tell about the events that happened. This is creative question. You have to do this by yourself. And question number 10. What do you like best about this poem? In this answer, you have to tell about the best part, the part which you like the most. You have to tell this. This is also done by yourself. Now turn the page of your English student's book and comes to the page number 34. Look at the top of the page. The topic is given, which is vocabulary. Read the box summary of the events of the poem. Choose one word or phrase from the clouds to replace each of the underlined words. Here some words are given in the clouds and a paragraph is also given below these clouds. You have to read this box summary very carefully and then choose word or a phrase from the clouds to replace the word which is present in the box summary. Let's start. Eskimo is a member of the indigenous population. Indigenous means local, original. You can say it also local or original inhabitants. Then find this word from the cloud. Yes, original inhabitants. Mark it number 1. Now let's start again. Read. Of a Caribbean islands. The second underlined word is islands. Now find the same meaning for the islands. Yes, land surrounded by water. Marked it number 2. Who has always lived a tranquil life? The underlined word is tranquil. What does tranquil mean? Peaceful. Mark it. Find the meaning of tranquil from the clouds. Peaceful. Which is peaceful? This is given at the left side of page on the top. Peaceful. Mark it number 3. One morning he ascends a hill. Now the word ascends. Find the meaning of ascends. Climbs. Now mark this cloud which is given the word climbs number 4. And surveys the sea from the summit. Underlined word is surveys. The meaning of surveys is looks out over. Found this word from the clouds. Looks out over. You find it? Now mark it number 5. The next word is summit. The word summit means highest point. Find this word from the clouds. Highest points. Now mark it number 6. To his astonishment. Now the word astonishment. Astonishment means surprise. Mark that cloud number 7 which has the word surprise. He sees bizarre vessels. Bizarre means strange. Vessels, ships, approaching the islands. Approaching means coming towards. Find out this word from the clouds. Coming towards and mark it number 10. Eskimo is perplexed. Perplexed means confused, puzzled. Confused, you can say it confused or puzzled. Both words have the same meaning, but in the cloud, the word puzzled is given. So you have to mark the puzzled number 11. And the last word is alarmed. Alarmed means frightened. Now find the last word from the clouds, frightened, and mark it number 12. Now comes to the page number 35. Language. The language point is sentence structure. In this portion, you will learn about how sentence is formed, what does the structure of sentence. Sentences must have a subject and a verb. Every sentence must contain subject and a verb. If some sentence have not subject, not verb, then that is not complete sentence. That sentence don't convey the complete message. That sentence not contain the complete sense. So every sentence must have a subject and a verb. Many sentences also contain the object. What does subject mean? The subject of the sentence performs the action. The person, the thing that is performing the action in the sentence, that is called subject. For example, Aunt Nida is coming. Who is coming? Aunt Nida. So, Aunt Nida is subject and coming is verb. The subject of the sentence performs the action. Let's see another example. The sun tickled my eyes. Who tickled the eyes? Subject. The answer of who? Here I give you a clue to find out the subject. The answer of who is also known as subject. The sun tickled my eyes. Who tickled my eyes? Sun. Then the subject, the answer of who is sun, and the sun is subject. Aunt Nida is coming. Who is coming? Aunt Nida. The answer of who is subject. Many sentences also have an object. What is object? The object of the sentence receives the action. The object of the sentence receives the action. For example, Aunt Nida wrote a letter. Who wrote a letter? Aunt Rida. So Aunt Rida is a subject. Wrote is a verb. And what does Aunt Rida wrote? A letter. So letter is a object. Now comes to the solution of the exercise which is given on page number 35. Read it. Copy and complete the table. Watch out, there is not always an object. Here a table is given in which subject, verb and object are given, and some sentences are given below this table. You have to read these sentences very carefully and write down the subject, verb and object in the appropriate column. Let's start. The first sentence is Amma lit the fire. Who lit the fire? What is the answer of who? Yes, Amma. So, Amma is a subject. What does he do? He lit the fire. The answer of what is? Object. The fire is object. And lit is verb. Now read the second sentence. Eximo's brother ground the corn. The subject is Eximo's brother and the verb is ground and the object is the corn. Now let's read the third sentence. Other people saw the great canoe. Who saw the great canoe? Other people. Saw is verb and the great canoe is object. The fourth sentence is the sight shocked Eximo. Who shocked Eximo? Sight. The answer of who is subject. The sight is subject, shocked is verb and Eximo is object. The third sentence is he shivered. Who shivered? He. The answer of who is subject. He is subject and shivered is verb. The sentence 5 does not contain any object. It contains only verb and subject. Now comes to the sixth sentence. The young boy told Amma. Who told Amma? Young boy. Young boy is subject, told verb and Amma is object. The seventh sentence is she gasped. Yes, this sentence does not contain object. She is subject, gasped is verb. The man beat their drums. Who beat the drums? Man. The man is subject, beat verb and their drums is object. You have to complete this table on your English classwork notebook. Write it very carefully and neatly on your English classwork notebook. The next topic is complements. The verb to be is not followed by an object. It is followed by a complement. The verb to be not followed by an object means it does not contains object but it is followed by a complement. The complement can be an adjective or a noun. For example, Mrs. Sabi was disappointed. Mrs. Sabi subject was verb and disappointed complement. Look at the page number 35. Let's start the solution of this part. Copy the sentences and underline the complement. Here 8 sentences are given. You have to tell about the complements which is given in these sentences. Let's read the first sentence. His mother was near to the fire. The complement in this sentence is near to the fire. The second sentence, Eximo's two sisters were next to their mother. In this sentence, next to their mother is complement. The third sentence, the island was very quiet. In this sentence, very quiet is complement. Underline the very quiet. The fourth sentence is, the sea was calm. The word calm is complement. Underline the calm. The fifth sentence is, most of the men were out fishing. Out fishing is complement. Underline the out fishing. The sixth one is, there were ships out at sea. Ships out at sea are complement. Underline the ships out at sea. The seventh one is, the coast of Karachi is very different now. In this sentence, which part is complement? Yes, very different now. Underline this. Very different now. The eighth sentence is, today the sea is full of ships. In this sentence, the full of ships is complement. Underline this, full of ships as a complement. Now it's time to write down your diary. Open diary. Write down the date, subject and today's diary. Today's diary is, students, you have to do students book. Page number 33. Look at the page number 33. Question number 9 and 10. On your homework notebook and workbook page number 19. Very neatly and carefully. This is end of our lesson. Allah Hafiz.